Alright, hello everybody. Welcome back to our review series. Today we are going to be looking at the United States light cruiser, the Cleveland. If you were watching or you're following along, we just finished up with the Helena. Had a great game in it. So we are moving up the line to the Cleveland. I don't have it upgraded, or excuse me, I don't have the ship after this, so I'm going to have to grind for the Seattle. I don't even have the last upgrade here, but this would extend the firing range to 16.1. I feel like it's okay to go ahead and just do the review anyway. So what we have here is a 5.8 second reload with an 18.9% fire chance setting. And if you followed along, I am still running Norman Scott on this, my fire spamming build. So inspiration is Haguro with HE fire chances almost to a full percent and an extension on the main battery range. And then, as usual, I'm running Francesco Mimbelli for our main battery reload time reduction. Scott comes standard with directed impact, which allows for a tighter shell grouping, which is great. So this boat is extremely accurate. We have Burn It Down XXL, increasing our fire setting chances. The only other one I might use would be Beyond Range, or if you are just very aggro against carriers, then you can go No Fly Zone and turn this thing into an AA Beast. I don't use this because you're not guaranteed to have a carrier match every single time. I wish there was a way to figure this out before the match starts, because it can be nice, especially if you got a German aircraft carrier who's trying to AP bomb you to the bottom of the sea. But I would say more than most people probably want to use Beyond Range or Burn It Down, myself included. We are going to do Igniter for more fire setting chances. You could do Punch Through for greater AP. I don't really recommend AP on this, or at least a full AP build on the Cleveland. It's got small itty bitty guns. Now you can absolutely Citadel things if they are close. If they are a cruiser, sure, I don't know if this could even penetrate heavy cruiser armor, but light cruisers, yeah, sure. So there's a spot for this, I guess. But this is my fire spam build. You can see my preset 1. This is going to be my AP build, so I do have it on that. But preset 2 is my fire build for this guy. I love the presets. Thank you, Wargaming, for that. It is awesome. And then, of course, we have Fixated, which is going to increase our grouping and our dispersion. So, again, making it tighter, more accurate than Refill Station with range extended and reload time standard. So, special effect, that's if you're close, you can get even more range. This is a very lobby shell. So, extended range, it's really hard to aim at very long distances, with the exception of battleships. If you get a bead on a battleship, even if they're 15k away, they're so big, they're so slow, sure. But range build on this, I don't really favor it too much. So if we go to specs, you can see our concealment is 10.9. Our range on this is 15 kilometers. So I don't think that's terrible. 10.9 on a Tier 7 cruiser is pretty solid in my book. Very maneuverable. This thing can turn. It's not built for great acceleration or braking. I got the wiggle build as usual, and it's awesome. I love it. So if we go to our loadout here, or upgrades rather, I typically always run aiming systems mod. It's here again. This is for dispersion, and this is for secondary build as well. Secondaries on the Cleveland is nothing to really balk at, but this is mainly for main battery dispersion. Here we got the steering gears mod for greater rudder shift. This is a very popular one if you don't want to use it. If you don't like the rudder shift, you can go propulsion mod. I wouldn't be upset to have this on. I can play both styles. I don't know. I favor this one. Always have, always will. Then, of course, as usual, concealment system mod 1. This would be really fun to put on there. Steering gears mod 3. Even though I do love my wiggle builds, concealment is just too critical in my book, especially at 10% reduction. I just need it. I need it. But this one, I would say the ship is still very playable, even if you do have this. Because we are a light cruiser, we tend to try to stick to islands as cover, which means you don't really need concealment to begin with. So that one I do debate on quite a bit, whether or not to keep it concealment mod. No one runs this at all. If you do, what's wrong with you? Then we got the main battery dispersion. I'm probably beating a dead horse with more dispersion build. This also would be one that I would consider changing in favor of the reload time, but you could stick on your AA gun mods. Again, you can make this to AA monster if you wanted to, which some people do like. I definitely have issues with the Sky Cancers, and there is a part of me that would love just to go out there specifically just to troll the carriers, but that is a detriment to your team. That is selfish gameplay and likely will result in your team losing. Secondary battery reload time, it makes no sense. This is not a secondary ship. But if you're a psychopath and you just want to be trolly, sure, put it on there, whatever. Then we got the hull. We got targeting systems mod, which again, I don't have this one upgraded fully, but I think I'm still going to be able to showcase this pretty well. Then we have reload time, AP shell damage increase, AG shell damage increase, and fire setting chances increase. So this thing is going to be able to spit out shells very, very rapidly. I have a dang good chance of setting a fire on it. I don't even have this. Let's upgrade this real quick. I do have this camo. I don't like it. It's too damn gaudy, and this is coming from a very proud American. Holy shit. So the reason why I don't like these camos, it defeats the purpose of camouflage. Camouflage is supposed to, you know, make you harder to see. This just screams, shoot me. So I am going to continue with this guy. I'm going to go ahead and upgrade it, though. This is part of the review, just deal with it. I don't do very polished reviews, it's part of my charm. It's part of my charm, just agree. Okay. Let's see what this does. This takes our concealment to 10.8. So yay, after all that paint being used, we got a 0.1 kilometer boost in concealment. Really makes you wonder what's the point. But it's okay, it's okay. Alright, without further ado, let's start. Actually, no, we're not done with the review. Jeez, I gotta get in review mode, y'all. So maximum AP shell damage of 3,300, nothing impressive there. We are running the sonar. This gives us torpedo acquisition up to 3.1, ship acquisition up to 4.4. This is not great. This is pretty weak when it comes to a sonar. There's a number of German DDs that have far better sonar, but that's kind of what they're known for. But what is nice is our radar consumable. Ship acquisition up to 9. You can do a stealth build on this boat. So if I was going to switch out my inspirations for concealment inspiration, you can get your detection as such to where if you are spotted, you can pop your radar and you're pretty much guaranteed to see who is spotting you. I think the Cleveland max detectability or lowest detectability is slightly over 9. So I don't think you can technically do a stealth radar build on a Cleveland. If you know specifically, be sure to put that in the chat. I don't think you can get it that low, but it's pretty damn close, which is fine in my book. And then the last one, we got the heal consumable. You could swap this out for the catapult plane, but, you know, why? It would be a terrible choice. So, I don't think... I guess you could run Arthas on this, maybe? As an inspiration, a catapult fighter becomes valid. If you want to be a AA monster and you want to just shoot down planes, sure, put this on there, I guess. But that's for a meme build. That is not what we're going for. We are looking at practicality, usefulness, blah, 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 blah. Armor. Why even bother looking at this? It has none. Yeah, shoot this thing at any kind of angle. You're probably going to penetrate it. You do have a little bit of belt armor there, but again, if you are showing that, you're probably not going to make it very long in this boat. Tier 7 is very competitive. The Helena, love that boat for the tier. It is extremely powerful at that tier. Cleveland, I just don't have that kind of experience with it. So you have to be extremely mindful, I think even more so than tier 6, definitely more than tier 5, so on and so on, because of just how easy this thing is to Citadel. This is why a lot of players do favor the islands to hide behind them, but you don't always get an island. You're going to have to push. You're going to be in open water at some point, which is why I like the wiggle builds, because without an island, I think maneuverability is one of your best defenses. So really no armor. If you are shooting at the Cleveland, you can absolutely penetrate it through its bow, especially if you have good arcs on your shells and stuff like even a tier 6 like the North Carolina. But if you are facing an Alabama, you're facing a Massachusetts, you're done. You are pretty much cooked unless you are able to get away from those boats. Straight line shells, you might be able to bounce. We'll see. I really don't think so. This thing is just, it is a battleship's dream. So for the overview, we got surgical shells, we have reloader, and we have agile. So it's a strong boat. If we look at my stats, they're going to be very embarrassing. I apologize. 33%. As I have said to a number of my fleet mates and people I play with, I'm cursed with the Cleveland. I can't seem to play it. My XP in this is 1259. With a 33% win rate, I think 1259 is decent, considering that you have a reduction in XP when you lose. So even in my losses, I must have done okay, but it's a hard ship. You can't really carry in this boat. I mean, I say that. I'm sure somebody out there would love to argue. Put it in the comments. This is absolutely, in my mind, more of a support ship, especially with that radar. So if you're in a div, this would be a good addition to a div. If you are in some kind of ranked battle, I think this ship can be an asset. But in the overall grand scheme of things, I have not done well. So hopefully I will pull out a good game for you. If not, I might just have to do this all over again because I'm not a great editor. So I think that's all I needed to talk about on this. Spec, stats, armor, overview. Let's play the sucker and see how she does. Alright, here we are again. This is, I don't know how many videos I'm in now. 4th match. Just can't seem to get a good one to highlight. So we've had some wins. But nothing that I would say is all that showcasey of the Cleveland and its powers. Alright, so capture the base. We're on the flank. Are we up tiered? We are the higher tier, okay. So this one I think plays pretty well for a cruiser. We got a DD spot, so I like where this one's going. Again, Cleveland is such a, in my mind, it's a support ship. The last bunch of games, just the first one had no DDs, so I had to try to play the role of spotter and didn't do too hot. The one before that, there was one DD, and he wasn't on my side. And then there was one before that to where the DD didn't stay on our spawn, and I'm stubborn, and I stayed on my spawn, so I died there. Still won. So without someone to spot, the ship is at a pretty big disadvantage. Because it's not going to be a good spotter ship. It's just not. It's got the radar, which is fine and all, but early on in the match, with all the BBs, with all the crossfires, this ship is just, it's a terrible spotter, as are most cruisers. So you gotta be careful with that situation. But I like where this one's going. We got our boy out front here, the Summers. We got some islands for cover. We got a bunch of backup coming, so I like it. It's always nice when you can shoot from cover. We're being targeted by 3 people. I'm not sure where the heck these 3 people are. I did not think the Rook could shoot over that island. Noted. Alright, so we're gonna get a little closer to this island to cut off shells, or shooting angles. Shells. So Summers cut back. He's spotting. So far, I like this guy's play. Really wish he wasn't behind that island. But we're going to be a little bit more patient here. I could pop radar. Don't know if that other DD is over here, though. Got a fire, first one of the match. And it looks like he's going to let it burn. Yeah, Yeah, I don't think their DD is over here. Oh yeah, look, you can see the last spotting was their DD going somewhere else. I don't know. Ooh, that's a long shot. But we're going to keep this island right in front of us. You can see the lead I'm having to give this Nebraska. Can't believe I haven't got him on fire yet. There we go, finally. He is going to the max edge of our range. But this is what the ship does. We are lobbing these islands very easily. We are firing relatively consistently. Getting all my guns turned. Right. I'm at range. So let's get this New Orleans. See, look at all the beautiful support we have. This is refreshing, because after my other matches, there was no support. I was trying to do everything myself, and you can't do everything yourself in a Cleveland. You gotta have friends. Teamwork makes the dream work, people. More fires, good for us. Hey, we got one.
Enemy cruiser sunk.
Now, I'm not going to cut down the middle here. I'm going to cut across the middle of the map. That's what I meant. I'm not going to cut through this middle, but I'm going to cut to the middle of the map through this little gap. No! No, homie! Well... there's no road signs out here. I yielded because I'm a polite driver, Mr. Real Slime Stoner. God, everyone on this game, y'all get stoned too much. To be fair, I usually am inebriated. But yeah, a lot of people play this game stoned. We're lobbing Amagi over this island, staying concealed. For a while, at least, he's pushing kind of hard into this DD, which is going to get him torped, but that's fine with us. No idea where he is exactly. We are just trusting in our auto aim. Now we can see him. And there he goes.
Enemy battleship founder. Our victory is in sight.
Alright, so we had 5 fires, a couple kills. Our team is rocking this. Just rocking it. But this was, it's a great thing. This is what I would call a situation ship. This ship is great in certain situations. I think this situation proves that. This was this wasn't a game to where we're going to get a crack in and all that kind of stuff. That's really not what this ship is. The ship is a support ship. I feel like we did that. We tried to get our DPM up. We had a lot of teammates pushing with us, so the damage was spread. So we didn't get a very high damage game. That's fine. That's kind of a lot of these light cruisers. It can be challenging because a lot of us, we want to go out there. We want to be the Rambo. We want the 150,000 K games. But that's not always a reality. So I am gonna keep this one because it kind of shows more of a typical situation with this game or with this ship. You don't want to get spotted. You don't want to be trying to solo, 5 enemies. You don't want to be taking damage at all. This is not a ship that tanks. Are we gonna cheese another kill? Jeez, we did. I feel kind of bad now. Oh well. Alright, so that is the Cleveland. Get behind the island, shoot from cover, try not to get caught in the open, but if you do, use the old wiggle wiggle. I don't do well with the ship. I can't give this a glowing review. It's not my favorite, which is sad because I love the Tier 6 Helena. Tier 6 Helena is a great boat at the tier. We do manage somehow to finish second. We cheesed a couple kills there, and that's just because the rate of fire on cruisers, you're going to get higher kill rates. So if you're obsessed with your KD, play a cruiser. You spam fire so much that chances are good your shell's going to get in there before somebody's going to get that big slap or that big torp hit. So Cleveland, not a bad ship. It's not my favorite. There's a lot of other Tier 7 cruisers I would pick over the Cleveland. The Seattle is supposed to be a good ship. When I get to it, if I get to it anytime soon, I probably won't. Probably just because I'm not a big fan of the Cleveland, like I said. But fire spamming, DPM, I have a very high rate of fire on here, so there are a lot of situations to where you can get a lot of damage accrued. But that in the last match, we had a lot of teammates that were competent. Their team kind of died relatively quickly, so we didn't get a chance to really rack up the damage. But we had a good support ship in that DD. We had good support from the battleships. That was a great match. So that's a wonderful highlight of team play. That's where this ship is good. We had a lot of support. But the last games that I played before this, the 3 out of the 4, didn't get support, didn't have anybody spotting. One match didn't even have DDs. So without a DD, this ship is hard to play. Without somebody spotting in general, the ship is hard to play. Because if you're out there spotting, you're going to get spotted and you get blapped, and that happened in 2 out of those 4 matches. Still managed to do okay, but that is the Cleveland in a nutshell. I really hope y'all enjoyed this video. If you have any other ships that you would like to see, please let me know. But just be on the lookout for more reviews. Until then, peace out. Have a good one.